Welcome to the interview of the week. This week, I'm pleased to announce we have a very special guest here. We have the President of the United States, Barack Obama. Mr. President, I want to thank you for being here.
I appreciate you having me on the show.
Oh, you're welcome. You know, I've been trying to get you on the show here for probably about 3 months now.
It took a little while. I've had a few things to do.
Well, I imagine you do. I'm sure being President of the United States is a pretty busy job.
Yes.
Now, Mr. President, I was very surprised to find out that you're a weekly listener to my show, and I thank you for that. I was really surprised what you said about me personally, and could you share with my listening audience exactly what you said to my staff member?
We'll go down in history as one of our greatest entertainers.
Well, thanks again, Mr. President. That's very kind of you.
Absolutely.
Now, Mr. President, I understand that you and Michelle spent some time touring the city here before you came into my studio for the interview here. Would you mind sharing with my audience what you guys did?
We wasted $10 billion.
Wow, that's a lot of money, Mr. President, but I guess, you know, the way you've been spending it lately, that's probably really not much, is it?
No.
Now, you've been in office for 2 years. Mr. President, what is the greatest thing about being the President of the United States?
I am surrounded by women.
Well, really? That's interesting. Now, don't you think Michelle probably doesn't like to hear that, does she?
Here's where you and I agree. It would be a game changer, and I've said that repeatedly.
Well, I'm sure it is, Mr. President. So are you suggesting then that you kind of have to hide this from Michelle?
That's the only way you can survive.
So then I gather she's a pretty tough gal.
Yes.
Now, Mr. President, there's a lot of talk. I've seen a lot of interviews with you. But one thing that I've never heard before, and I'm curious about this, what news channel do you watch when you're at home? And why haven't we heard about what that choice is?
You're the first person who's actually asked me about it.
Oh, okay. So what channel do you watch when you're at home?
Fox News.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's what I watch too. I mean, they are definitely the best out there.
Absolutely.
Now, Mr. President, I would like to ask you a few foreign policy questions, if you don't mind. Now, what is your biggest priority right now that maybe the American people in general don't know about?
We've got to put more pressure on Pakistan to do what they need to do.
Oh, okay, Pakistan. Now, what are you suggesting we would do?
Some full-blown invasion of Pakistan using the military.
Wow, really? Now, I always thought you were against war. So we've been wrong about you all along?
Yes.
Wow, that's very interesting, Mr. President. Is there anywhere else in the world that you could see us getting involved in another war?
If you listen to what I've said, and I'll repeat it right here on this show. War against India.
Wow, with India too. Okay, well, I didn't know there were any problems there, but you did just get back from a trip there, so I'll take your word for it. You are the president. Now, I'd like to ask you another question. You ran in 2008. You ran against John McCain. You've been in for 2 years. Of course, John has stayed a senator. In your mind today, looking back and looking through everything that's gone on here, who do you think would have been a better president? Do you still believe you would have been? Or do you think John McCain? Or who do you think would have really been the better president?
John McCain.
Okay, that's interesting. That's an interesting answer. I thought you would have said yourself. Now, again, you've been in for 2 years now, and you see the job is very difficult. You did a lot of bashing of George Bush, and I think everybody knows that. But really stepping back now and kind of stepping outside of it, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you, who do you think has done a better job in the first 2 years of their presidency, you or George Bush?
President Bush.
Well, that's an interesting answer, Mr. President. I'm surprised by that one as well. Now, we are running short on time here. I hate to say that because I'm enjoying this interview. But I would like to do one last thing with you. Kind of like to play a game if you wouldn't mind.
Let's not play games.
Well, come on now, Mr. President. This has been a great interview so far. I've been nice to you. Can't we just play one game here real quick?
Absolutely.
Oh, great. I appreciate that, Mr. President. Now, when you were on the campaign trail, there was an incident where you seemed to misrepresent the number of states in this country, and I just want to clear this up, and I want to give you an opportunity because I'm certain that the American people have a lot of confidence in you, and you're a smart guy. I'm sure you know how many states we have in this country. So if you wouldn't mind, just a real quick pop quiz question here. How many states do we have in the United States of America?
57 states, I think.
Oh, no. That was close, Mr. President. Hey, I do appreciate you playing. Like I said, we do have to wrap this interview up, but before we go, I want to give you the last word. Is there anything that you want my audience to know about President Barack Obama?
You're absolutely right that I'm a Muslim.
Wow, it's kind of dropped a bombshell there. Mr. President, I want to thank you for being on the show. It's been a real pleasure. It's an honor to meet you, and thanks for being here.
I appreciate you having me on the show.
All right, that's the interview of the week with Barack Obama. Wow.